Ban the bacon and save your life. This is the Alligator News Roundup. Plus, candidate holds one-sided debate with AI opponent. NFL team is in hot water as betting odds are jeopardized. City Commission candidate campaigns on making Homeless Island a tourist attraction. You heard it here first. Here we go.
Number 4. The Mirror. Bacon and ham ban demanded by scientists claiming cancer link.
On the occasions when I have smoked my locally famous meatloaf logs wrapped with a generous weave of bacon strips, no one at the table has ever complained, "There's too much bacon on this meatloaf." But now it appears we have scientific proof that bacon is the number one cause of the number one malady of the human species. It causes cancer. Well, it may not really cause cancer, and the culprit is not really bacon by itself, but that's too much for a headline. The World Health Organization, WHO, has now lumped bacon in with all other processed meats and urged supermarkets in the UK to ban the deadly culprits. The issue is the nitrites. Nitrite is a chemical compound that inhibits the growth of bacteria, which would be called Clostridium botulinum, Clostridium botulinum, to which pork and most other fresh meats is particularly susceptible. Nitrite also stabilizes the pinkish color of ham and bacon and slows the onset of rancidity. We don't want rancidity, helping to make the product shelf stable. Nitrites are why you can purchase fresh bacon from the grocery store and be reasonably certain it will not kill you, as long as you keep it refrigerated and use it within a reasonable period of time. Here is a nitrite summary from ChatGPT. I know you were hoping for this, based on articles from the FDA and the FSIS, which is something like the Food Safety something something. Nitrite is a naturally occurring compound made of nitrogen and oxygen that food makers add in tiny, carefully regulated amounts to bacon and ham. It keeps the meat safe from harmful bacteria, gives it its familiar pink color and flavor, and has been safely used for generations under strict U.S. food safety rules. In traditional and FDA-approved methods of bacon and ham production, nitrites are introduced via a salty additive, either sodium nitrite or sodium nitrate. Because nitrites can sound mysterious and nasty, like something akin to cockroaches, demand has been created for alternatives. To satisfy consumer concern, some meat processors have begun labeling their bacon uncured or no nitrates added, which is a clever way of implying there is no nitrite. This is not true because without nitrites, the product would be highly susceptible to botulism and would have little eye appeal. I love the free market. The justification for the so-called clean label is that the nitrites that are present are generated from vegetable-based ingredients, in particular, celery juice. Processors who leverage the organic claim into higher sales acknowledge this statement from ScienceDirect.com. Quote, "Nitrite is a unique, distinctive cured meat ingredient for which there is no substitute," unquote. Therefore, your uncured bacon has nitrites. There is no escaping this, and it is not harmful, but the nitrites are produced by celery juice rather than by direct introduction of sodium nitrite or sodium nitrate, and it is also much more expensive. So regardless of the cost, eat your bacon and enjoy it. Remember what Solomon said, even though for reasons of faith and culture he did not endorse bacon. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. That's from Ecclesiastes, but you probably knew that. If only the WHO had read this blog first. On this topic, a close associate of mine proposes a solution for most historic Middle East conflicts. Just let them have air conditioning and eat bacon, he says. That'd fix all their attitude issues.
Number 3. The Gateway Pundit. Watch. GOP candidate holds AI debate after Democrat refuses to participate.
It is a sign of the times, both in the sense that AI technology has brought a person's words to life even when the person is not present, and in the sense that politicians sometimes find it convenient to not show up when they know they will be questioned. John Reed, Republican candidate for lieutenant governor in Virginia, invited Democrat Ghazala Hashmi, his opponent, to meet him for a discussion of issues. Ms. Hashmi declined to appear, so Mr. Reed held the debate anyway. He apparently used video and audio recordings of Ms. Hashmi to present her positions on issues of importance. Now, John Reed is a talk radio host, and Ghazala Hashmi has served in the Virginia State Senate for 6 years. Both are no doubt accomplished public speakers. This article gives no indication why candidate Hashmi failed to appear at the debate. Now, it may have been unfair of John Reed to conduct the proceeding without his opponent, allowing him alone to select her position statements. On the other hand, AI technology is a fact of life in this decade. If you want to ensure your message is heard, you had better be on hand to give voice to it. I am waiting for the news item where Ghazala Hashmi publicly challenges John Reed to a second debate. But since the day of voting is this coming Tuesday, that may not be forthcoming. It will be what it will be.
Number 2. Awful announcing. Mike Florio. Ravens could face severe punishment over Lamar Jackson status change.
Tyler Huntley was at quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens game last Sunday when they faced and defeated the Chicago Bears 30-16. Huntley is the Ravens' backup quarterback, and for this game replaced regular Lamar Jackson, recovering from a pulled hamstring. So far, so good. That's why they have backup quarterbacks. But as late as Friday preceding the game, the official Ravens status report showed that Jackson would play. Now, while it was true that on the 2 previous days he was listed as limited in practice, by Friday he apparently was all good. Then on Saturday, the day before the match, the Ravens corrected the report, said the Friday status was an error, and that Jackson would in fact not play on Sunday. Adding more confusion and the appearance of deception, the Ravens released a second official statement on Saturday to the effect that while Jackson had practiced earlier in the week, he had only practiced against the scout team, not the first team. Listing Jackson as the scheduled quarterback for the Bears game was an honest mistake, claimed the Ravens, and although there was not exactly an apology, one could conclude the Ravens were perhaps remorseful for the error. Error or not, there are rules about this sort of thing. The Bears defense, taking the official Ravens reports at face value, had prepared to meet Jackson, not Huntley. Changing the quarterback on offense changes the game for the defense. Consequently, there is now the likelihood of an NFL sanction against the Ravens. But there is another dimension to this conflict that amps up the consequences of such an oversight. Sports betting at the state level was allowed by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2018. The Supremes struck down the 1992 law that prohibited most states from partnering in sports betting. Justice Alito, writing for the majority, said that if gambling were to be illegal in states, it was up to the Congress, not the courts, to make it so. At that point, let the wagering on games begin. Gambling has always been a part of professional sports, usually in the shadows, but in the last decade has been embraced in the light of day. FanDuel, founded in 2009 and focused on fantasy football at that time, has exploded in popularity. Advertisements for it are everywhere. No doubt, organized crime looks on with interest. Bets are made based in part on which players take the field on a particular day. When the Ravens said that Jackson would be in the lineup, it not only confused the Bears' defense preparations, but disrupted an untold number of wagers made on the game. The Ravens still won, but that fact only goes to make the point. With millions of dollars on the line, there is no such thing as a simple, honest mistake. If only we could have a simple, honest football game.
Number 1. The Independent. Montana municipal candidate suggests homeless island tourist attraction to address cities and housed population.
I don't think I would have built my campaign around this issue. Great Falls, Montana candidate for City Commission Pete Anderson acknowledged his city's problem with homelessness in a unique way. We have the tents and cardboard shelters and unhoused population downtown anyway, he reasoned, so why don't we capitalize on it? Anderson suggested turning the local area into Homeless Island in the city center. According to the Montana Free Press, unhoused persons have been camping out at the First United Methodist Church parking lot, about a half mile from where the Missouri River winds its way through the city. The site has become a matter of controversy and lawsuits for all the usual reasons: shortage of city shelters, unemployment, drug addiction, and the willingness to live rough, even with the prospect of a Montana winter growing closer by the day. Peterson's approach, at least, is thinking outside the cardboard box. He hopes to invent a sustaining community of homeless, complete with farmers market type booths featuring homeless-made crafts for sale. He envisions a safe environment with housing pods and gardens. I wish him luck with this. In the article, the candidate does not go into detail regarding personal hygiene or sanitation, for which we are all thankful. I hope the best for all of you in Great Falls. I understand it may be a hard winter. And thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup for Friday, October 31, 2025. As you read this edition of the A&R over coffee and bacon from the comfort of your climate-controlled home, take a moment to thank God for your situation, whatever it is. We all have challenges. Some are internal struggles, while others are obvious for all to see. Without stress, there is no forward movement. I have learned this: once you have mastered a challenge, the next one will probably be harder. Life is funny like that. Every year, it seems more like a Super Mario Bros. Arcade game, where each level is harder than the last. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup again this week. We have new subscribers all the time. If you are new here, welcome. Find us again next week.